FYF Sports, man, it's Lamont. We back with some more NFL news today. NFL news. I know we don't touch on this sport a lot, but as the NBA season has now ended, the Los Angeles Lakers are the NBA champions. We got to start touching on these other sports. A lot of new stories, a lot of headlines. And again, this is just something we have to touch on, especially a story right here. And in my perspective on this is going to be a little bit different. Before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video. If you have not done so already, you guys got to start hitting that notification bell, man. I know our live chats have been going crazy. The numbers have been going, absolutely ballistic. But it's still been a lot of people who are asking me, when do we go live? And the only way you know when we go live is you got to hit the notification bell. You'll get an alert about 30 minutes before we go live. So you'll have a good idea of, if you have time to jump into some of those live debates, or if you just want to chime in to hear what we're talking about. But you got to hit the notification bell. So I expect more of you guys in there. Again, I think out of all the lives we've done so far, we exceeded 3,000 viewers at one point in time. I mean, that's excellent. That's excellent for like my 5th time going live. I want those numbers to keep going up and up and up. And the only way we have 3,000 viewers in there is if we have engaging and interesting content for everybody. So that's why I really want to touch on more sports, more topics, and we can really get to cooking those lives. But today we got a story out of the NFL, man. Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott is out, season-ending injury. The man, they signed a great backup. This is one of the reasons why they signed a guy like Andy Dalton, because they know this is a possibility. But even with that in mind, Dak Prescott was in a really a back and forth contract negotiation this summer. He was the Dallas Cowboys were looking to sign him long term. They put a monstrous deal on the table. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys put a monstrous deal on the table for Dak Prescott. I think the differences between the two sides came over either 4 years or 5 years on the deal, but the deal included a lot of guaranteed money. 4 years with the team, and these are the chances that you take when you pass up on those deals. And I think as players, and I've seen this a lot of times. A sports player, I don't care if you're basketball, football, baseball, you only get what you negotiate. You never will get your value. A player, Michael Jordan, never will ever be able to get his value as an NBA player from the Bulls. The same thing with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, all of these athletes. They're never going to get their true value from these teams. You only get what you can negotiate. And in NFL, because contracts are not guaranteed, you sometimes, and they more so because of their CBA, they more so have to settle. You'll see a lot of NFL players, primarily because of the CBA, they have to settle for worse contracts. The terms of the contract might not be as good. The terms of the contract might primarily be based on what the guaranteed money is. I think that's what football players have to go for. What is guaranteed? What isn't guaranteed? Because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. The only thing that's guaranteed for Dak Prescott this year is his check for this year. He's just under a 1-year deal. And when I look at guys not just like Dak Prescott, but even when I go into other sports like the NBA, when I look at a guy like Boogie Cousins, where the New Orleans Pelicans put a monstrous deal on the table for him. He rejects the offer. He goes into free agency, and now he's dealing with a multitude of injuries as well. So again, this is why I can appreciate the moves of players like Draymond Green, understanding that I have to take the contract offer that's in front of me. Sometimes I can't try to negotiate for every single penny that might be out there. Because again, when you're thinking long term, when you're looking at the climate that sports are in with these pandemic issues, you have to be careful, y'all. You got to be careful. You got to see this. And we saw what Patrick Mahomes did. Patrick Mahomes, no games at all. He plays no games. He signs a extremely long-term deal for a very large sum of money, because what he's doing there is he's locking in his future. He found a number that he could be content with, and that's really all you have to do in these sports, on guarantee money and then potentially earn money as you play your contract out. As long as you can come up with a number that works for you, that's all that matters, especially in these in when you're dealing with sports. All right, because you can't play sports forever. Your lifetime, how long you last as a player is really going to be determined on how long you can stay relevant or how long you can stay healthy. Because we've seen a lot of great players, guys like Brandon Roy, Anthony Hardaway, careers derailed due to injury. So again, we know what injuries can do to you if you're an athlete. So again, it's about at the end of the day, man, all these athletes out there, we know you guys are making monstrous money. It's not about counting your money, but it's also about being smart in these negotiations. And I know these athletes got a lot of people in their ear. You got this side telling you this, you got this side telling you this, or what's best for you. Sometimes you have to use your own mind. You have to look at your own situation and say, you know what? Realistically, this is going to be the best scenario going forward because it guarantees me X, Y, and Z. All right, and it's something I don't have to constantly come back and renegotiate. Now, the NBA is slightly different because players can take that risk. They can bet on themselves with the 1-and-1 deals. At the end of the day, that's still a risk. That's still a risk because of injury. Now, it's less likely. The chance for a major injury in the NBA is not as likely as you would have in, let's say, a sport like the NFL. But the opportunity, and you can ask Kevin Durant, you can ask Boogie Cousins, the opportunities to get injured are still extremely high. But you know what, man? To all the Dallas Cowboy fans, man, and to all the Dak Prescott fans, man, even the Dak Prescott, man, I wish that man a speedy recovery. He immediately had ankle surgery that same night, and it looks like he's on his way to a speedy and fast recovery. They're talking about 6 months, but the one thing that's for certain right now is that he's definitely out for the season. The Dallas Cowboys were reeling a bit at the particular time that he dropped. The one thing that I would hate to see in this situation is, what if Andy Dalton comes in and plays lights out football? Are they going to give up on Dak Prescott? Are they not going to offer him that long-term contract that he was really seeking? I hope they don't give up on him. I hope they don't, man, because the man's earned his payday. And I wish he would have took the payday that was in front of him as opposed to chasing the few pennies or just the minor parts of the aspects of that deal. Because sometimes it has to be give and take, y'all. It has to be give and take. We saw that with Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes is far more valuable than the contract that he signed. Even though it's extremely lucrative, the most lucrative NFL contract that we've ever seen, at the end of the day, he's going to be worth more than that contract. But he chose a number that he was happy with. He signed it and said, you know what, I'm locking up my long-term future. And I wish more players would think like that, especially at the NFL where nothing's guaranteed. FYF Sports, man, another great video. All right, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you have not done so already. I really want you guys to hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think about this particular topic right here. It's just going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to hear back from you guys about this. How does this story correlate into the NBA? Should players start looking more long-term? Should they keep signing these 1-and-1 deals? We see Anthony Davis is in that situation right now with the ability to sign another 1-and-1 deal. He's really trying to maximize his leverage. But should he consider something long-term to lock in those financial resources as opposed to taking multiple chance after multiple chance on 1-and-1 deals, betting on yourself? I don't know. It's just something to think about. Definitely something that we can talk about in the debates. So if you have something on your mind, if you got something you want to say or respond to about this video, let us know the next time we go live. I would love to hear back from all of you guys on this particular topic. But it's been a great video. Appreciate all of the support so far. We're on a grind to 20K. But it's FYF Sports, and we out.
you.